the people, you know, it's Jiggy Star Boy, you know. Uncle said, big up all my YouTube subscribers. Big up on yourself, you know.
Comfort the hearts of those brothers. The true Holy Spirit, my God, it will do something out of the ordinary, God. The Lord, their tears will be dried. Their grief, Lord, will be consoled. In Jesus' name. Amen. Praise the Lord. We're going to have the reading of the first lesson. We'll take it from Psalms 91. And we read by him on our wallets. And we're going to ask all those who are slated on the program to participate. We're going to ask them to follow the order of the program so that we can go through quickly. So the person who is coming after them is Lisa Bowler, and then the others follow in Jesus' name.
This is the word of the Lord. Amen.
shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and for this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall we be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Here endeth a portion of God's holy word, and the added is
That's Lion next daughter. That's Lion daughter
This
too.
song is dedicated to my sister, Layla. She's been there. God knows she's been there. She has seen and done it all. She's a woman. She knows how to dish it out. Oh, take it all. Her heart's as soft as feathers. Yes, she wears the stormiest high. And she's a sparrow when she's broken. But she's an eagle when she flies. A kaleidoscope of colors. You can toss her round and round. You can keep her in your vision, but you'll never keep her down. She's a lover. She's a mother. She's a friend. And she's a wife. And she's a sparrow. She's broken, but she's an eagle.
whole human being, and she was enough to keep all of us on our toes. Daima, the person. Like many of us here, including me, Daima grew up in a difficult neighborhood, and although she suffered many things, she was not daunted by her life experiences and always kept a smile on. That is something I know we will always miss her for. She always seemed to be happy, and she shared that happiness with two very special things. One was that very broad smile that could also make you smile in return. And two, her very typical greeting. Whenever Diamond saw me or messaged me or called me, she would say, "Wagwan, Uncle Charles." Just as she would also say, "What, Nancy Stacy," her aunt, who's also in the US and couldn't be here today. As old as she was, she never addressed us without auntie or uncle before our names. Never. She was respectful. And when she forgot her manners, which she sometimes did, nobody needed to remind her. One of her best traits was her ability to forgive and forget. Diamond never held a grudge for too long. As soon as she finished telling you off, she would run into your arms with that heartwarming smile. And if that didn't work, it meant that you didn't have a heart. Many of us here today can learn from that aspect of her life. When we mess up, let us forgive quickly and keep things moving. Daima, the granddaughter. Beloved by her grandmother, Diamond knew she always had help whenever she needed it. Whether it was a word of encouragement, one of her favorite meals, a hug, a prayer, a friend, she would always find Mommy, as she called my mother, because she was more like a mother to her. Whenever Diamond visited, she always had a story, or she had a song, or she had a dance that she wanted to teach us. Now, I don't know much about her storytelling or her singing skills, but I know Diamond could dance, and I'm sure you all agree. Even when the dances were a little slack beyond reason, after you got over the initial shock of the display, you went back to seeing the loving person simply a product of her culture and her interests. Her grandmother fondly recalls that Daima always reminded her and her cousin Amon here sitting in the front row that she was the eldest grandchild, and even though everything that grandma had was to be shared between the two of them, she deserved a bigger portion because she was the older granddaughter. Daima was a gentle giant. She recognized her faults and owned them, and she always listened to her grandmother's advice, even when sometimes she didn't take it. Daima, the family. Many people could only wish to have someone like Daima in their family. She always spoke highly of her family and was loyal and protective of them. She understood that family had two sides, and she loved them both. Her existence brought together two groups of people who otherwise probably would not have met each other. She was a glue that held us together. She was fierce, yet gentle. She was loving, yet defensive. She was loud, but her heart beat even louder for her loved one. In fact, her cousin Amon remembers how some years ago, she was having some troubles at school with someone who was bullying her. And Amon does not know how Daima found out, nor how she found out where her school was, but the next thing she knew, Daima was there at her school, ready to beat that person for Amon. What's up, issues? Sometimes Daima was kind, but she always knew where to find her family, and she always found us one by one. Daima always messaged me whenever she changed her phone number and would tell me to save the new number. She checked upon me and wanted to know how I was doing. And when I asked her if she was fine, she would send me a photograph of herself in case I didn't believe her. And then she asked, "May I look fine?" And I said, "Of course, Diane, of course you look fine," because I had to agree. And I remember on one occasion, she sent me a photo. It's actually in the program here. And her belly was out. And I said, "Diane, why your belly out the door? You didn't really catch cold." And she laughed and said, "No, man, I'm not catching cold. I'm all right, man." And I said, "Okay." And then she said, "Okay, love you." Daima, the leader. Daima had a kind of personality that made people want to follow her even when they weren't sure where she was going. I remember some years ago when she used to come to church with my mother and I. The other young people in church would gather around her in excitement, just waiting to hear what she had to say. As much as we tried to tell her to filter her speech and use appropriate words in the church context, she couldn't hide who she was. She was straightforward, unapologetic, and 100% naive. When one church member heard her talk of the things then, she had to ask, "I hope a generation is." Then somebody answered, "I evangelist Brian's granddaughter." The person said, "No, sir. Brian not have this in the fear bloodline." We all laughed because we knew our Daima, but the rest of the world was only just discovering her then. Today, when that same person remembers Daima, she can only say, "You can't help but love her." And that was the very accurate truth about Daima. No matter what she did, how bad she was when she was bad, you just couldn't help but love her. Given the right chance and the proper environment to flourish, I know Daima could have been a great leader. She knew how to show love and compassion, and she cared for the people around her. Daima, the message. Daima's hard life was as a result of her surroundings, no doubt. Although she wanted to do better in many things, she found it difficult and needed help. Today, I encourage us all to let her life's end be a reminder to us of the dangers in our society. It is our duty to keep our women and children safe, to ensure that they are given the ingredients in life to succeed and grow up with a sense of security. Daima understood this when she became a mother. She wanted to do things the right way for the sake of her son. However, we are now left to take up that mantle and finish what she started. Parents, do not allow criminal elements to destroy the future of your children. Run with them if you have to.
True.
Aunties, uncles, neighbors, friends.
True.
Please lend a helping hand where you can give a child a chance to be brave. I stand before you today because after I left Fletchersland, I used to live on Church Street right up the road. My beloved Auntie Carmen, the most unselfish person who you could ever meet, she took me from Maxfield Avenue after I moved there and gave me a good chance at a different life outside of the ghetto. I now live in Australia where my wife and I are doing doctorate degrees, and it is because we were given a chance.
Amen.
My Aunt Carmen was a great woman, and I miss her, and God bless her soul because she has done well for so many years. If you cannot escape the ghetto, raise your children to let them know that they can be better than their surroundings. Let them know that good things can still come out of the ghetto. That good people still come from such Let us always remember Daima for who she was and raise our children to become who she could have been. A leader for a time such as this. God bless you.
Christ.
Move up the church and go out decently.
The power player of them.
Please, all of you that are gathered around the pastor, please give an excuse
Put your back door still.
to the pallbearers.
Call the power player of them again, please.
Pallbearers, come right now.
Thank you.
All the pallbearers, we ask them to come. People, photographers, cameras, please give way. Please give way. All right, you want to read that? Let's get it out. When the trumpet of
Power player of them there.
and the morning. All right, read that.
Power player of them there. Call them again, please.
Pallbearers,
Sure.
you know who you are.
By the power, not gonna come now. One more time. One now. One. One. All right.
God bless you. Baby over the castle.
They're moving, them do it already. 2 times. Let's do it again. Do it again. That somebody take bless, take the deal. Give him back.